So yeah, hey everyone, this is Toby Ritz with Toy Apocalypse coming at you. When I say long time no see, I know it's been a couple weeks. I guess this would be a good time to apologize. I haven't been doing my toy reviews as I usually have because, well, I've been moving my stuff out of my room. My mom has been taking up painting, and she wanted to use my childhood bedroom for her own personal studio, which is pretty cool because, creativity is kind of nice and stuff. So I've been moving my stuff down to the basement where I'm going to be staying for the time being. And that's kind of cool because, I'll just have more room for my my Amazon purchases to pile up in my YouTube projects. So that's kind of nice. So moving along, what I like to do today is review for you the Jesus Christ action figure. And before I bring it out, usually at this time, what I usually do is I talk about the packaging and go over all that with you guys. But I have to apologize again, in the business of the move. What I usually do is I go through a kind of a dress rehearsal, if you will, taking the toy out of the package and practicing talking about it. But in all the melee that happened with the moving, my mom threw out the packaging, much to my extreme displeasure, but she didn't seem to care too much. But that's just something between me and my mom. Anyway, so I'll just describe the packaging to you. It was a big square box that contained the action figure, and it kind of had a nice desert scape design. And from what I've seen in all the Jesus movies, Jesus does spend a lot of time walking around in the desert, so I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so moving on to the action figure. So here's the Jesus action figure brought to you by Mako. And what's nice is that usually Mako doesn't do Jesus action figures. Usually Mako mainly does World War II action figures with limbs that come off and lots of blood and guts, but they've decided to kind of go on this in this religious direction, or developing this religious line of toys starting with Jesus himself. So that's kind of cool. And first I want to talk about his legs. Jesus, this action figure doesn't really have any legs. It's just like a hard robe, and then his feet barely move. And that was kind of like disappointing for me because, if you want a Jesus Christ action figure, it'd be nice if he could like run. Because what if you want him to run like around the streets, running from the Romans and stuff, and right now he can't do much running. He can't run from the Romans and hide in baskets and run from all the guys with the big swords and stuff, because he doesn't have any legs. I mean, I guess God could help him hover down the streets and help him like plop him in the baskets and stuff, but I mean, that's kind of like, putting God into your play. It's fine with some, but what if you don't want God in your playtime? And yeah, so he doesn't have any legs, and that's a problem. But also, I want to point out his feet, and if you notice, he doesn't have any toenails. Yeah, and I thought that that's a big problem. It's not detail orientated or accurate, because I know, like, again, from the movies when they're nailing Jesus up on the cross, you see toenails, and so it just makes sense to put toenails on the action figure, but they didn't. So if you move on up, you could see his arms. He has some three-point articulation in his arms, which is kind of cool. And one really cool thing, too, is if you notice, he's got these great glow-in-the-dark hands, which is really cool. But the thing is I can't show it to you. I can't turn off my lights because the lights are up in the hall. And I don't have control of my lights in the basement, which is kind of inconvenient because my mom controls the lights, and sometimes if the lights go off right now, that'd be great, but it's not my curfew yet, so I doubt they will. Anyway, so he's got these glow-in-the-dark hands, and he could bend his elbows, and he could be like saying, like, hey, airplane, come over here, airplane, down the runway. And that'd be really cool. He's great with the G.I. Joe play sets. And then also, or you could just have him say, like, stop, stop gay marriage, everybody. And that would be like really interesting to have him do that in your playtime as well. And moving on up to Jesus' head, he's got this great Leonard Skinner haircut, which is kind of cool. And he's got a really nice, really groomed beard. And I really like the groomed beard look. As you could tell, I'm a big beard man. And I thought that was really cool to have Jesus have a beard. So all in all, this is probably maybe a B minus action figure if I were to give it a Toy Apocalypse grade. And mainly it's just because he doesn't have very good legs, and so he can't run. And also, this action figure didn't come with any cool weapons or anything. And, if you're going to spend money on an action figure, it's kind of cool when he comes with a few weapons they could, fight with. And, Jesus could have, fought back, and that would have been cool. And also, he didn't come with a crucifix. And I don't know, from all the movies I've seen, Jesus always ends up on a crucifix. And frankly, from everything I've heard, Jesus and a crucifix is like peanut butter and jelly. They go together really well. So, this is the Jesus Christ action figure brought to you by Mego. And you could find him. You can't find him at Toys R Us. I got this one. I got mine on Amazon and Amazon.com. And you can't find him at Toys R Us. And I'm really surprised that Toys R Us doesn't have a religious line, a religious section yet, because that would be cool. You can get your Jesus action figures and also devil blankets and stuff like that. So that would have been cool. But you can't find it at Toys R Us. You can only get it on Amazon.com. And I'm sure there's some other websites out there too. But my mom only has her credit card registered with Amazon. So that's where I get all my toy purchases. So, okay, it's great seeing you again, and I look forward to giving you another review real soon. And so this is Toby Rintz and Jesus, I can't run that well, Christ, saying, see you next time. Bye.